You ever have one of those race mornings where you're hyped for qualifying, ready to see who's actually fast, who's been hiding speed, who's bluffing? And then, boom, rain. Just like that, everything gets wiped out. No runs, no pressure laps, no last-second drama. And suddenly, the entire energy of the weekend flips. Because when qualifying gets canceled at a place like Atlanta, it's not just a delay, it changes everything. It changes how teams approach the race. It changes how the grid looks. And honestly, it changes how we, as fans, read this entire event. But this time, this one feels different. Something big just reshaped the starting lineup for the AutoTrader 400, and it could completely impact how this race plays out, especially at a track where track position kind of matters, but also doesn't. And if you've been locked in since Daytona, you already know why this situation is so interesting. Now, real quick, if you're someone who lives for NASCAR every single week, hit that like button and subscribe. This is NASCAR Fast Lane News, and we're just getting started. All right, let's get into it. Qualifying at Atlanta? Completely washed out. No laps, no speed charts, no chaos. So NASCAR had to fall back on the performance metrics formula, the system designed exactly for moments like this. And if you followed last weekend, you already see where this is going. Starting on the pole for the AutoTrader 400, it's Tyler Reddick. And honestly, that checks out. He's coming off a massive Daytona 500 win, the biggest race of the season. And that win carries serious weight in the metrics system, which factors in finishing position and owner points. So when qualifying got canceled, the math did the talking. And it put Reddick right at the front. But here's where things get interesting. Right next to him on the front row, Joey Logano. Yeah, that combo right there, that's dangerous. Because Logano knows exactly how to control a race at Atlanta. He's done it before, winning both the pole and the race here back in 2023. He understands the air, the draft, the timing. But here's the twist you can't ignore. Since that race in 2023, the average finish for the pole winner at Atlanta? 18th? Yeah, 18th. That tells you everything about what this track has turned into. Atlanta doesn't race like old Atlanta anymore. It races like Daytona, like Talladega. Tight packs, constant pressure, no room to breathe. Horsepower is limited, the field stays stacked, and starting up front, it helps. Sure, but it doesn't guarantee anything, because this isn't just racing anymore. This is pack racing. This is survival. And this right here is why this lineup is so fascinating. Because with the way Atlanta races now, you don't need to start on the front row to be a factor late. You just need to survive. That's it. Stay clean, stay smart, stay in the draft. And when it's 10 laps to go, that's when it really begins. Now let's break down this field because there are storylines everywhere. Front row, you've got Tyler Reddick on pole, Joey Logano right beside him. Row 2, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Chase Elliott. And that's a dangerous combo. Stenhouse at a drafting track is always a threat. He's aggressive, he takes chances, and when it works, it really works. And then there's Elliott at his home track in Georgia. You already know the crowd is going to be on another level. Row 3 brings Brad Keselowski and Zane Smith. Keselowski, one of the smartest drivers when it comes to superspeedway chaos. He knows when to push and when to back off. And Zane Smith starting this high? That's a massive opportunity to make a statement. Row 4, Chris Buescher and Riley Herbst. Row 5, Bubba Wallace and Josh Berry. Then just behind them, Noah Gragson in 11th, Daniel Suarez in 12th. And don't sleep on Suarez. His win here a couple of years ago, that was one of the biggest surprise moments we've seen at Atlanta in a long time. Right behind that group, William Byron, Kyle Busch, Carson Hocevar, and Kyle Larson. And Larson starting 16th? Honestly, that might be the perfect spot. Right in the middle, out of early chaos, but close enough to strike when it matters. Then you hit the heart of the field. Ty Dillon, Cody Ware, AJ Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Preece, Cole Custer, Shane Van Gisbergen, Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, and then keep an eye on this. Christopher Bell starting 32nd. That's a name you cannot ignore, because Bell has speed everywhere. And at a track like this, all it takes is the right drafting partners, and suddenly he's slicing through the field. Further back, Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, Todd Gilliland, Alex Bowman, and the rest of the field rounding it out. Now here's the big picture. Atlanta isn't about starting position anymore. It's about timing. It's about patience. Because push too hard, too early on these pack-style tracks, and you instantly become a target. The draft will shuffle everything. And that's why Reddick on pole is so interesting. Not because it guarantees anything, but because of momentum. He just won the Daytona 500. Now he rolls into Atlanta starting first thanks to the metrics. That's confidence. That's swagger. That's a team that feels unstoppable right now. But here's the reality. Atlanta doesn't care about confidence. Atlanta only cares about who survives. And since the reconfiguration, we haven't really seen total shock winners here. Suarez was close, but most of the time, it's still one of the big names standing at the end. So now the real question is, does Reddick keep the momentum alive? Does Logano control the race like he did before? Or does someone buried deep in that mid-pack chaos time the draft perfectly and steal it in the final laps? That's what makes this so good. Rain may have taken qualifying away from us, but it just made Sunday even more unpredictable. And honestly, that's why this sport is different. This lineup sets the stage for pure pack racing chaos. Momentum is building early in the season. Points matter. Positioning matters. Every move matters more than people think this early. And if Atlanta turns into what we've seen lately, we're in for an absolute wild race. So if you're as fired up as I am, smash that like button. Drop your winner prediction down in the comments. I want to hear who you've got. And if you're all about real NASCAR talk fast, raw, and straight to the point, make sure you subscribe to Fast Lane News. We're building something real here, for real fans. I'll catch you right after the green flag. Let's go racing.